Hello everybody, 64 Studios, 101.
And Who Fan 12 here, doing another Chef Clownman commentary. This one on The Mystery of the Missing Hat.
Now, this episode, I don't know, it feels a lot more recent than Freezing Fun to me for some reason.
Yeah, even though it was actually one of the shorter breaks between episodes, but it
I don't know why.
I mean, it's because the writing is quite a lot better. It actually is something that I could possibly write now. Well, I'm making it a bit better now, but it's close to what I'd write now.
More Sherlock Holmes references now. I hadn't read Sherlock Holmes back then, and now I have, so...
Yeah, so it's one of the first episodes that still pretty much is close to as good as the episodes that come out now.
Now, this was written by Who Fan 12, so... and it was also one of the earlier episode ideas.
Yeah, well, there are several early episodes, but I had the idea for this episode.
Freezing Fun.
Yeah, but I had the idea for this episode probably early to mid 2014. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let's begin. This intro, I always struggle what to say during the intro.
I guess you don't need to say anything.
That's what you said last time too. Yeah. Just enjoy the animation, I guess.
Yeah, even if it's not great animation, it certainly is adequate for the intro.
Yeah. Alright. So, there we go.
The mystery's a bit of a hard to read title card, but I can't help but still
yeah, I like the magnifying glass now it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now this music, I think, is possibly still some of the better title card music I've
very
done
good.
for
And
the
by the way,
show.
I believe this is the first time the title card music continues after the credit sequence ends.
So, your comment has a little monologue, and I like that, Rain.
Yeah.
Like,
I slightly moved the animation table, unfortunately, so it slightly shakes, but it works. Maybe that actually helps the stormy feel.
But here, I think this is around when Clownman is about to break the fourth wall. Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, I didn't add a wink sound effect, which...
Well, they weren't there, he says. He's referring to the audience.
Or is he?
Dun dun dun.
And then that's reused footage from Freezing Fun with Chef Clownman.
Yeah.
And then that's a new background of the Town Cafe, because I decided to give it the logo on my
so
Clownman you're
compared
hired.
to the one in Johnson's Job Interview, it's different. Ooh, look at that clock animation.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, that's supposed to be, I guess, a bit of a time-lapse.
Yeah, somehow Clownman looks a lot shorter without his hat. Or maybe it's because they drew him wrong there, who knows? Or maybe they just drew him too fat, I don't know.
I don't know, something's missing without his hat, but it had to be done for this episode. It's kind of your classic mystery. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
With the Chef Clownman spin to it. And notice how it's, it's a dark mystery detectives, blah, blah, blah. Johnson has his leather
That
jacket
background, of
on.
course, is reused from Johnson's Job Interview.
Yeah, but, see, Johnson looks really, dark and edgy with his
that was
leather
purposeful.
jacket.
I drew that background. I drew that slide before I filmed this episode, but once we were doing this episode, I figured, okay, and of course they move right there.
Yeah,
but and by the way, also, the bald guy I accidentally didn't film a frame where it's off screen, which is why it zooms in on him every time he talks.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
but I thought that was a good
in case
joke.
you aren't very observant, that reuse footage every time he takes off his bald cap.
Yeah. Out of all episodes, this might be the one that, well, there's Johnson's Job Interview, but one of the ones where I was involved the least in many ways. Because, I do the title card music, but there's not any other music besides the normal closing and opening
Wait,
stuff,
there's what, in Johnson's Job Interview?
No, in this...
there is the Town Cafe overture.
Oh, so there is Town Cafe overture. Oh, Sherlock Holmes reference.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
We kind of had to fit in a little reference.
I know it's something that everyone knew, but neither of us had read Sherlock Holmes, so give us a break.
Yeah.
But he's read it now, so if we somehow had to repeat time and redo this episode, then we could make some better Sherlock Holmes references in there.
He actually didn't say elementary, my dear Watson, in the books at all. That's just a fun fact. Maybe I could have had something referencing Sherlock Holmes' "if you eliminate the impossible" quote.
Yeah, nice. But anyway, yeah, I love seeing Chef Clown in a deerstalker hat, and it looks so much.
Awesome.
It looks so much. Oh, what if I kept him in that for the whole episode? I mean, part of me likes seeing the joke, but then he looks so much better in a deerstalker hat than without a hat on.
Yeah. All right. Here's the interrogation theme scene.
Unfortunately, the camera's shaky, but I really like that background though. It fits the scene well.
There's something that seems a bit off with, like, should some of his Clown Man's leg there be blue?
Where?
Wait, no, maybe not.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, but that's just. I mean, I think his leg would be longer.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's technically wrong, but it does look sort of off.
Yeah, I do kind of like the look of the candle and how it's a bit brighter around it.
Yeah, I feel like the lighting shouldn't be in a perfect circle like that, but again,
it worked.
Although the perspective on the scene isn't quite right, but it works too.
And I like Clown sitting down and interrogating everybody.
I like the animation when he uses the pencil, even though he seems to be writing the opposite direction of the lines on the paper, but that's Clown Man for you.
Yeah, that's just Clown Man. Alright, Dr. Daddy
this
cameo.
isn't a very funny scene, but hey, it's nice having a Dr. Daddy cameo. This is only the second appearance, too.
We like having little small scenes with characters in Clown Man, which if you've seen later episodes, I'm sure you'll notice. Yeah, see Mr. Worksworth. Is he still not named?
Is that Mr. Town, actually? But
Mr. Town.
But he's still not named, you're correct.
Yeah, so Mr. Town isn't named yet, but he does gain his distinctive J. Jonah Jameson-like voice here.
Unfortunately, I wanted to make it a bit more J. Jonah Jameson-y, but then there was all this microphone overexposure, and so I couldn't do it.
For shame.
Yeah.
It's a Hamilton reference. I don't like Hamilton, but that's a Hamilton reference. Why am I talking about Hamilton? So, this is,
So yeah, Clown Man's getting really desperate to get his hat back.
Oh yeah,
and then
little Evil Darkness track.
Yeah, I always intended to.
Well,
he says, in hindsight, maybe there should have been some of the music.
Yeah, Epic March. He says, no, James, don't do it. In last episode, when Johnson is watching, someone on the screen says, "So, James, you did it," and it's probably the same James.
Yeah, probably is. It could be the same scene, even.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, James was maybe doing whatever that is.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows, yeah. Okay, back to Johnny Johnson.
Maybe I should have zoomed in a bit to focus more on them, but it works.
Yeah. He looks so edgy with that. So dark, so right now. Yeah.
So they decided to go to the town cafe to. Now I was actually worried this episode would end up being too long.
Yeah, I remember that.
So what I did was, like, originally there was a scene where like it was dark, and then they commented like how they'll have to look through the dark, and they're like, or we can. And Johnson's like, or we can just turn on the light, and then Clown has a line about he's beginning to think like him or whatever, and then I decided that would make it too long, so I cut that out, and then I realized it wasn't over long, so I added in a less funny line that basically took the same amount of time. Yeah, so it goes.
Yes, the flashback. I always liked how Clown Man's arm is a bit long, but I like how you see it from his point of view.
Yeah,
that was cool. He goes over to get some ketchup and goes back. That's
awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's...
And it sort of has a nice detective-y feel the way you have all these flashbacks about what he does, and then he jumps out the ketchup. Can't decide if that frame rate is too fast or not, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think so. Alright, so here we go, again, Clown Man doing his thing. That's nice.
Kid will appear in a few later episodes, but the colors will be changed to be better.
Yeah.
And this will in a second be the first time that I actually animate paper instead of just animations using paint pens on animation slides. And I like the way the town cafe meals look.
Yeah, I'd like to reuse that sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So this is, I think, probably the best part of the episode when they're at the town cafe and they're kind of looking around.
And they look through a box of toys, and that I like. Because you want to investigate as a detective, but of course, these Clown Men want to play with all the toys.
You add the line where he says, "Are you ready to begin our investigation?" And then like a bunch of times Johnson is like, no, it's not an investigation. And Clownman is all serious, and then he just starts playing with.
Yeah,
all
you're
the
right.
toys.
And like, that's funnier than him just like reaching in and playing with the toys.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and then of course the joke with all those is that it's not funny at all. Like none of the things he says are funny at all with the toys, and the joke is that he thinks they're so funny. It's like an instance of it's so not funny, it's funny, I guess.
He says like, yeah, this is the one where the alien says he wants to learn about magical diet Dr. Cola.
Yeah, which
Clownman laughs like mad.
Yeah, no,
right. That's nice little.
Yeah, that's a nice card. This is a remissly drawn school.
Guys, this is Chef Clownman. Fan 12, this is inappropriate.
Yeah, what am I gonna do next? Have Johnson say that Clownman can kill himself by jumping off a high height? More on that later.
Oh wait, but
anyway, I really wish I had him like running around and jumping and moving his arms and stuff here. That would be really funny if he was like sort of progressing into insanity and his movements were showing it.
Kind of like in the Christmas special when he can't find Santa.
Exactly like that.
Maybe. Yeah, this guy is cool. I'd play him. Oh yeah, that's the
and then it turns out he somehow left his hat in his kid in the kids' meal. I have no idea how.
I love that heart animation.
Yeah,
that looks cool.
Good.
So, all in all, this is a nice episode. I mean, I really like this one.
It's a very fun one.
Every time, like, for a while, for whatever reason, I didn't quite like it, but I don't know. I can't figure out why. It's really a fun one.
Exactly. It's probably not quite as great as some of the later ones, but it's close.
Yeah.
And then it has a great ending, too, and they're just both laughing about the stupid joke, which happens to be exactly the same joke Clownman made earlier.
Yeah. Alright, so there we go. Quite a nice little episode.
And unlike usually when Johnson says something to the camera, this time he just sighs at the camera. That's an unusual ending.
Whoa, yeah.
And anyway.
I think that this is... I mean, I can't help but have this be one of the ones I really like. I mean, there's only 12 episodes right now.
Yeah, so...
Soon to be more. But,
more on that later.
Same with the building thing. But, yeah, I think this episode is quite a sort of nice parody of detective and noir things in general.
Yeah, but it's also just a fun Chef Clownman episode, too. Like, it has all that parody in it, but then it also just has Clownman being Clownman. The perfect combination.
And I think that's why I like it so much.